9th District to vote for you for a 12th time in a row. How, after 22 years in Congress, do you continue to stay grounded in what District 9 needs in a representative?
Well, the single most important thing is I live here. There was the race back in New York where an incumbent Democrat lost, but one of the big issues was he moved his family to Virginia and he didn't live in the district. I have lived my entire life in this district. I grew up in SeaTac, I lived in Kent, my family lived in Northeast Tacoma, we now live in Bellevue. I am 100% connected to this district. I've always lived here. My wife was PTA president down in Northeast Tacoma. My children go to the public schools here, as I did. I can honestly say there is nobody, not even close, who understands the people of this district as well as I do, and nobody who is more passionate about fighting for them and helping them in any way I can.
You mentioned the New York primary where Joe Crowley, a 10-term incumbent, lost to a newcomer. We have a newcomer coming in and challenging you as well that is supported by the same slates. Sarah Smith will be challenging you. She is a progressive. What do you make of that challenge?
Well, I welcome it. I think competition is a good thing. I've been challenged in every primary I've had since the new district was created in 2012, and I've always gotten over 60, well, I got 58% of the vote last time, and over 70% of the vote in the general. I think I'm doing a good job for the district, but I never take that for granted. I've got to work, every 2 years to make that case. I'm confident I can. I think I'm doing a very good job. I'm very connected to the district, but I got to make that case, and we'll see how it comes out in the primary.
Are you concerned that there might be a national movement pushing forward newcomers and knocking out the old-time Democrats like yourself?
Yeah, well, I'm not that old, first of all.
But you've served 11 times.
I have. I got started at a young age. But second of all, no, I'm not concerned about a national movement. I'm concerned about my district. These are the issues that I work on. I'm working with the folks around SeaTac Airport on ways to get noise mitigation for what's happening at the airport. We have a very strong East African community in our district that's concerned about remittances to Somalia and food stamp issues at their grocery stores. I'm working with them on that. The city of Bellevue has sound transit rolling through it. They're building transportation hubs around it. I'm working with them on getting TIFIA grants to help fund that. I could go on, but you get the idea. I'm concerned about the issues that are important to the people of my district.
We've been hearing more from our constituents, I think, right now than maybe you've even seen in your career in Congress. They are very outspoken. We're seeing them on the streets. They're very concerned. What are the concerns you're hearing from your constituents?
Well, number one biggest concern is economics, is basically the fact there's been such a concentration of wealth, and we see it here in the region. In fact, you and I were talking about this before we went on the air. It's become very expensive to live in this area. I mentioned that I grew up in SeaTac. My father bought a house in SeaTac for $15,000. You're not buying a house in SeaTac for $15,000 now, and wages haven't kept up. The policies of this country have divided the country so that there's people who have unbelievable amounts of wealth and other people who are struggling to afford a place to live. Addressing that issue is the number one biggest thing. And this has to do with health care, which, by the way, the president and the Republicans have completely destroyed and not replaced with anything. Building infrastructure, access to education and workforce development, addressing the homelessness issue and affordable housing. I am all about equality of opportunity. I grew up in a blue-collar family, and I had opportunities because I had good public schools. My father was a member of a union. I want that same thing for everybody in my district and everybody in this country, equality of opportunity.
There's definitely a progressive movement running through the Democratic Party, and one of the things we're seeing from that is this rejection of PAC money. I just checked the Federal Election Commission this morning. You have about 72% of your campaign contributions from PACs. Are you concerned about how that looks?
No, I don't vote the way the people who give me money tell me to. Never have. Doesn't matter if it was a bunch of individuals giving me money or a political action committee. They shouldn't have that right to tell me how to vote, and they don't.
Even with all of the money from the military-industrial complex, your role as a ranking member on the House Armed Services Committee, tell me about your independence.
I voted against the Defense Appropriations Bill last year. Heck, I voted against the Defense Authorizing Bill on 2 or 3 occasions. I voted on a whole bunch of individual issues. Well, one of my first votes in Congress was to not build more B-2 bombers. Neither Northrop or Boeing were happy about that. But I don't vote the way that people give me money. What I say is I'm going to work hard. I think I understand the issues. I think I'm going to do a good job. If you think that's enough, I welcome your contributions within the law, okay? But I vote my district, and I vote what's in the best interest of the people I represent.
And you, the voters, will get to make your choice in the